Okay. Welcome to Lunchtime with a Librarian. My name is Mary Bear Shannon. I am a reference librarian at the Haverford Township Free Library, and we have been interviewing staff and board and members of the Haverford Township Free Library in the last couple of months, and helping you all to get to know our staff and the people that serve this great library. If you have been coming into the library in the last couple of months, you may have noticed that we have some new faces. And so I am really excited to interview one of our recent hires. Austin Planer is here today. He is a library assistant that came on. How long, Austin? 3 weeks? 2 weeks?
I guess it's been almost a month. Yeah.
So a month. Okay. But if you have not been in and seen Austin's face, be on the lookout for Austin as we continue to serve our library, albeit we are serving our library community through curbside only at the moment. But you may see Austin at the front door as he is delivering your bag of books to you. So Austin, welcome, and thank you so much for being willing to be interviewed for our Lunchtime with a Librarian. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, yeah, thank you for having me. And just to build off of what you were saying from the get-go, I'm usually pretty masked up, so it might be a little bit hard to tell who I am. But yeah, so a little bit about me. I grew up in Atlanta. I lived there for most of my life with a little break going to undergrad for 2 years at South Carolina. University of South Carolina, where I thought that I wanted to go into sports management. Strangely enough, yes, I am a big sports fan. So made sense. I think combining those interests were a little bit like the interest with the working aspect was a little bit different for me. So I transferred back home to Georgia State, where I got my degree in marketing. And then from there, I did some work in Atlanta and decided that I wanted to go to grad school for fashion. Yeah, so global. I'm actually in Philadelphia at Philadelphia University at the doing the Global Fashion Enterprise program there, which has been really great. I transferred to Philadelphia University as well from New York, so I moved from Atlanta to New York, and I really enjoyed Philadelphia. And I got an offer from Philadelphia University, and I jumped on that because it was one of the schools that I really wanted to go to, and one of the cities that I really wanted to be in. And what I enjoy about Philadelphia is sort of like the communal aspects, which the library does a very good job of sort of harnessing that, and I think Philadelphia is very good about embracing that. And not to dog on my hometown, but they just don't have those communal aspects. It's a little bit more disconnected. That might just be from the city infrastructure or just the transient nature of the city. But yeah, so and now I'm at the library. So that's a very, very quick synopsis of who I am, I guess.
Your life.
Yeah, my life. It's always a nice question because you can go different avenues depending on the context you're answering it, so yeah.
What you said a little bit about what you like about Philly, anything else that you like about being in the Philadelphia area?
Yeah, it's very visceral to me. I just feel good here. I felt good when I visited here. For some reason, I feel very present in Philadelphia. Maybe that's just because it feels like people kind of have your back. They have there are, I guess, stereotypes about coming from the South about the North, and I did not see any of those. If anything, I saw the exact opposite. I also have since I've been here, I've really enjoyed I'm in East Falls, and I have access to all the trails and paths, and I feel like I've discovered so many hiking trails like every week, which has been really great because that's something I enjoy. So yeah, and my
Especially
brother
along
lives
the
here.
Schuylkill River.
Yes,
Yeah,
I love that. I'm a hill away from the river, so being next to water is really nice.
great, great.
Yeah.
Um, so what do you love about working at a library?
Yeah. I personally, so I guess my experience with the library, I don't like being at home very often. So when I was doing work, I would tend to always go to the library to do my work. That's where I was able to focus, and it just held different spaces for me at different times. And I think that like the adaptable infrastructure of the library, as well as its ability to listen to the community needs and be there for the community, is something that I um, really enjoy about the library. It's very inspirational to me. Um, so yeah, I just think its ability to sort of like adapt to everyone and be there as a space for everyone, but like for what you need from it at that time, if that makes sense.
Is that what drew you to libraries, or were there other reasons too that drew you to libraries?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, not I that is what drew me to libraries was it being this social infrastructure that sort of is the center of a lot of communities. And yeah, that, I would say that's what drew me from the get-go, and just its meaning to me personally. And just yeah, just its ability to adapt. So
Kind of be that community hub.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm sure inquiring minds want to know, what are your favorite books?
My favorite books. Honestly, some of my favorite books are ones that I've read recently. I really like this author Hanif. He writes very beautifully about music as it relates to how certain experiences, like whether it be going to a show or listening to certain kinds of music, can also adapt to how you are feeling in a way. And he uses different intersections and avenues to describe the meanings and of particular artists or songs to him personally. And I just really relate with his ability to write about that. It kind of gave me new language to be able to talk about the things that I'm interested in, and to sort of like organize thoughts in my mind. So one of the books is actually sorry, it's right behind me, so I was just looking at it. It's Go Ahead in the Rain, which is about a tribe called Quest, who I also really like as a musical rap group, I guess. And then there's another one called They Can't Kill Us Until They Kill Us. And then from that, another book that has been really influential for me is The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. I really enjoyed that book.
And do you have a favorite genre that you tend to go back to?
I don't. I've been trying out a lot of science fiction lately. I think just because I've been so grounded in nonfiction recently,
Mm,
trying to escape a little bit. But I don't think I
mm,
have really a favorite genre. Strangely enough, I was growing up. I wasn't very good at reading, so I didn't really enjoy doing it. I was one of like those Spark Note readers in class.
mm-hmm.
And as I sort and I learned I my learning ability wasn't the greatest either, and I just recognized that really like over the past couple years. And as I got more interested in books, I realized that I learn a lot from them because I'm able to process them at my own speed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah, and so for me, I always need to know about something very deeply to understand it at all. And then once I
Mm.
understand it, I'm able to talk about it, and I grasp it very deeply. So reading has given me different avenues to do that, and also has given me confidence to like trust in my ability to understand things a little bit better. So yeah, I think that was like a very long-winded answer to that question.
Yeah. No, it's
But
good to know
yeah,
how we come to our books. I was a late
yeah,
reader myself.
yeah,
So I think it is kind of, sometimes I think it's kind of funny that I ended up in libraries because I was so late
yeah.
to reading chapter books as a adolescent. So,
Mhm.
but once I got them, I just couldn't put them down. So,
Yeah, yeah. You get to escape a little bit, and you
yeah.
get to and it in the world that we live in now, it's very hard to focus, and it makes you have to focus on
Hmm.
and be present on that particular chapter, that particular page.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's you know I guess your question was about my favorite genre, but
Yeah.
I guess that's
Yeah.
why I don't really have one, because take I take something from all genres.
Well, so even though you said you struggled a little bit as you were when you were younger, did you have some favorite books growing up, either when you were really little or when you were a teenager or an adolescent?
Yeah, I think ones that I got through and really enjoyed was Holes. That was a big book
Mhm.
of my age group at the time. Um, The Outsiders. I'm not sure if it's Outsiders or The Outsiders. I forgot the actual title, but that was big for me. Um, what else? The Giver. I really enjoyed The Giver. That
Mm-hmm.
was, I yeah, that kind of sparked my interest. And I guess it was a good foundation point for me to get more into reading. But yeah, so those are probably the three that I really enjoyed when I was younger.
So aside from reading, what are some of your hobbies?
I like to do anything and everything outside. Um, I bike a lot. I like to just bike places. I find things to do so that I can just bike there, and be out in the fresh air. I said earlier, I really don't like being at home. I don't like being stuck at home. So this has been, this time right now has been good for me. I've learned to sort of, stay put. But yeah, I really like to just be out. I feel like I have this fear, people have the classic fear of missing out, but I just like have a fear of like not seeing everything. Like I want to just like see different beautiful things outside. So that's what I enjoy.
Okay. That kind of leads me to my question. And of course, this is a question that probably is more appropriate for when we're not in a pandemic. But
Mhm.
I mean, are there places you like to travel or visit
Um, yes, and I'm trying
when we
to,
actually travel again?
yeah, when we're able to travel. I like Maine a lot. I'm
Me.
big. Maine is beautiful. Their air quality is, great. I think that's what they're known for. But
Mhm.
um, I did recently do like a 2 day, or not recently, like in September, I did a camping trip there with my partner. And that was really great. So Maine, yeah, Maine. I guess I can say Atlanta now because I haven't been there in a long time. So going home is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, some I guess some of my most memorable places that I've traveled was Portugal. I really, really enjoyed
Mm,
Portugal and Italy and Paris.
okay.
I don't do those often. That's not like a thing that I do, but I have been, and I really enjoyed those places.
I have not been to Portugal. That is a place I
Portugal,
would like to see.
yes, that is one of my favorites.
Your
Probably out of
favorites.
all those,
Okay.
I think it's a combination because it's very, it's cheap first off. Secondly, there's a lot of smaller islands that you can go to, um, and just the beauty of the actual city and the architecture is amazing. I'd recommend Porto. I like Porto. People like
Okay.
why can't I think of the other one? There's like Porto and there's no, I'm blanking on it, but it's the two big cities in Portugal, and the
Oh,
other one,
Lisbon.
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 Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I
Okay.
don't know why I couldn't think of that, but everybody talks about Lisbon. I really enjoyed Porto.
Okay. And do you have any places on your bucket list that you really want to get to
Yes,
before you die?
Japan. Japan.
Japan.
Yes, that
Okay.
is number one for me.
Number one. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Um, so if you could live in any book universe, what would it be and why?
Um, my instinct wants to go to Neverland. Might just be because I don't know of many other ones as I'm sort of thinking about it and like as I'm getting into more science fiction. But Neverland for me is just, it reminds me of it's I guess it's a little bit nostalgic in a way. And then and one of my favorite movies growing up was Hook. And I used to
Mm.
like play like role play that um with like my family when I was growing up. I remember that. Um but I just think the lack of responsibilities, I guess. I mean, that sounds kind of
Never
nice.
growing up?
Yeah, never growing up, never aging. I mean, that's great. I guess you have to fight a few people, but which, that's never good. But yeah, I guess I'll go with Neverland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and what are you, you talked a little bit about what you're reading now. Anything else you're reading at the moment that you can tell us
Y-
about?
Yeah, so I decided I like I finished up a few books. I was a book free agent, like I didn't have anything that I had, that I was reading, and I decided I I not I wouldn't say it's the best idea, but I decided to read. I have them right in front of me. That's why I'm looking over there. A bunch of books that have short stories in them, so that
Mm,
I can bounce around. Um, but I don't know how much I like doing that. I want to give them the time and space.
mm,
So right now I am reading Bloodchild, which was my library read, which was a book that I was like would read on break, and then I kind of missed it when I wasn't at the library, so I checked it out. Um, the other one is Sister Outsider by Audre Lorde, which is beautiful. I really, really have enjoyed that book. The other one is Octavia's Brood, which is kind of a play on Bloodchild. Not really a play, but just inspired by Octavia Butler. And I get it's like the same sort of style as Bloodchild, but it's written by a bunch of different people. And I really like Langston Hughes as a writer. So I'm reading The Ways of White Folks, which is a bunch of short stories. And then I'm reading this book called The Deep History of Ourselves by Joseph Ledoux. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And that is like, you can kind of jump around chapters there. So not necessarily short stories, but you can jump around and don't have to like stick to the linear typical path of books. So yeah, I have a lot, and I feel like I keep like wanting to read, like start up new ones, and I keep stopping myself. So I have a lot sort of in the tank right now. It's definitely the most books I've had like that I've been reading at a time.
um, so, and now that you work in a library, is there any advice you would give to anybody who wanted to be a librarian?
I'm still learning that. I This is new for me. It's been really enjoyable. I think just putting yourself really out there, because I hadn't had experience in the library before this, and it's been amazing. Like I really enjoy the work. I enjoy every day that I come in. We're always busy, which is nice.
More
And
than busy.
yeah, yeah. I feel like the time just flies by. Yeah, I really like working with all my coworkers. But I guess for advice, I don't have the typical advice because I don't, I'm not going. A lot of the new hires are in programs right now, master's programs, and if I knew more about that, maybe I would recommend go, being in a master's program. I know we spoke about it, and you didn't, yeah, right? Okay.
I'm an accidental librarian.
Right. Yeah. So we kind of started up in I guess non-typical ways. So I would just say put yourself, if you're interested in it, explain why, and really follow that.
And so you've been at the library for a month. Anything in particular that you like about serving our community in Haverford Township?
Yeah, it's I guess it's different now. I haven't experienced it. I guess it was fairly open, but not in a way that I could interact on a personal level with patrons. Um, but I really enjoyed I really enjoy just seeing how much people read in Haverford, honestly, and just like the diversity of books that they're reading. I like being able to be the person to like have that first contact. Books make me happy. They obviously make other people happy. So it's nice to be like the medium for that. Yeah,
Enabling that?
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I guess I'm really looking forward to, once all this is over, to meeting people and understanding them on a deeper level. Because I know that there are a lot of patrons that you or people that have been there longer have relationships with, and are able to take care of their needs in ways that I probably am not familiar with yet. So yeah.
It's a very uh, hearty group of readers, I have to
Yeah,
say. So
it,
it
it is
sounds like you're
indeed.
picking up on that.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Well, those are my questions. And thank you so much, Austin, for letting us learn a little bit more about you. And we will be doing more interviews of some of our new hires that will be coming up in the next couple of months. So be on the lookout for that. But again, Austin, thank you so much for being willing to share about yourself.
Yeah.
Um, and again, be on the lookout for our other interviews. We post our Lunchtime with a Librarian every third Friday at 12:30. So be on the lookout for that. And we appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much.